What's going on, everybody? I'm here with my client. She just finished up her 6 months, her first 6 months in the program. So tell everyone, who are you, where are you from, and what do you do?
Yeah, thanks, AJ. So, hi, everyone. I'm Moanna. I am from Northridge, and I am currently in the advertising industry.
Okay, that's cool. So you take out a lot of clients and do client dinners and stuff.
Yes, lots of wining and dining and hosting. So, that didn't make this any more difficult.
So, um, what obstacles or like roadblocks were you facing or finding when you were trying to get in shape on your own before we ever connected?
Yeah, so I feel like I was relatively like active and going to the gym pretty frequently, but at some point I was eating like 800 calories and like like going to the gym consistently, doing nonstop cardio and like just could not get rid of that stubborn fat. And I was just so sick and tired of it because it's like you put so much effort in and I'm all about the hacks, right? So I was just like, okay, maybe I need some help. And maybe it's like I'm not pushing myself enough at that gym, right? Maybe it's doing the 5 pound dumbbells that aren't working out for me. So that was my biggest thing. And at some point I was just like, I can't like do this on my own.
Yeah, I remember you're a little different. You're a little different from most people because most people don't come to me already tracking super diligently
Mm,
and already kind of having knowledge of that. So like I remember you were already like super meticulous about it. You liked eating pretty much the same thing every day,
yeah.
and so you're doing that and not really seeing results. Like how long were you kind of in that space?
Yeah. I would say like 2 to 3 years.
Really?
And like, yeah. And then like it got to the point where I had to do like it's like that crash dieting, fast dieting, where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I really need to just cram in 1 week. And like I wouldn't starve myself, but like I just be eating salads every day. And that wasn't helping. And then yes, would I see immediate results? I would, but then it'd be like a whole cycle. Like then after the week after like a certain event or a vacation, I just gain the weight all back because I'm just starving myself and just starting to eat like whatever was in sight. So I knew that wasn't healthy either. So yeah.
Okay, so you're a yo-yo dieter too.
Yes.
Okay. So when you fell off from the extreme diet, like what would you eat?
My biggest thing is like ramen, like instant ramen. Like it's
Instant
just so,
ramen.
yeah, it's like so comforting to me. And like that was just like my go-to. Like whenever I need, because it was quick, it's
Mm.
comforting, and I love noodles, so I would just eat that all the time. And like drunkies, scrunchies, right? Taco Bell. So yeah,
Okay, so you used to drink a lot too.
yes.
Okay.
Kind of.
You toned it down a little bit in the
Yeah,
last
I
six
toned it
months.
down a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
So
it's no more seltzers. Now it's vodka sodas.
yeah, I mean that's different. I mean, if you're gonna do it, it's got to hit hard, you know? So how did you hear about me and Lionhearted Coaching?
Yeah, so as you know, my fiance is also really into fitness and bodybuilding. And I think he was like following you because he was friends with one of your wife's friends and they all knew each other at the gyms. And then
Yeah.
he really like appreciated your perspective on fitness. And like he really thought it was relatable, knowledgeable. So he was like, I watch so many people and he's like, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're saying. So he was just like, just give AJ a call. Like I've been following him. I know it seems like he knows what he's doing. And I was like, sure. Here we are.
Okay, so then here's the big question. If your fiance is very into fitness, how come you didn't get coaching from him?
Um, it's very different because I mean, obviously we're together as a couple. And I was going to the gym with him for some time and like he can help me in the gym, but like we just like couldn't nail down the nutrition part of it because like he could eat, I mean, he's been working out for so long, so it's like for him to eat like pizza here and there and like do all these things, like it doesn't make a big difference for him, but like versus me, it's like I have one big meal, then it's like screws me up forever. So I think that was the big part. And like we didn't know like was it the carbs that was making me blow? Was it high fat, which we'll talk about later, I'm sure. Like, what is the proper macro like split for me? And I think figuring it out with you was the best part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I asked, I already knew the answer, but most people, it's very hard to get coached by your significant other just because
Mhm.
it's like there has to be, and not that you don't, but like there has to be like this different level of respect, like your coach person. And then if it's your significant other, when they tell you to do something you don't want to do, you could just get mad at them because it's like,
Yeah.
that's your relationship.
Yeah.
So usually that's why
Or,
it doesn't work.
or it's like if we want to go out to eat and I'm over here like, oh, like maybe not today. Obviously, he's gonna be upset. Well, like I'm not gonna go by myself to eat. That too, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, and everybody's body is different. Like what works for him doesn't necessarily work for me.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
is that is a big piece. So, um, what was like your biggest fear or skepticism about joining the program?
um, I think I told you this in the beginning. I kept saying like I need someone who like will be hard on me. And
Yeah.
like honestly, I didn't think I was ready for like the accountability piece of it. Cause like to me, I felt like really accountable myself, right? Like I was going to the gym, I was like doing all these things. So I'm like, why am I paying someone to like tell me to do something? You know what I mean? Like when I have a routine myself, I think that was the big thing. Um, and also like I didn't know what your workout plan was. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were gonna like have me do or like was it going to be like extreme, right? Like I don't I think the fear of the unknown was my biggest thing.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you were like, I'm pretty accountable already. I kind of do my own thing. I mean, I can take a little direction. You were
Mhm.
kind of like, I already have my thing set up. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're gonna like completely flip it over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did it? Or did I? Was it
Um,
that different than what you used to do?
no, I think if anything, I like pushed myself to like lift heavier. Cause I think at some point when I was like sending you videos, you're just like, to me, I was like, it was so hard, but your feedback, every single video, like I sent in the first half, you're like, you can go heavier. Like you can go heavier. So then now I know like what my limit is and
Yeah.
like really push through. And I think that's, where you see the biggest results, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard lesson to learn, but like what you think is hard is not actually like your limit. And a lot of
Yeah.
people are very far away from what they can do, and that's the reason a lot of people can't make the progress. It's like you're not challenging yourself enough in the gym. It's
Mhm.
like trying to get smarter, but you only read Dr. Seuss. Like it doesn't really work like that, you know?
Yeah. 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 But yeah, I would say like when it came to food, I mean, of course, there were like some days where, I told you like I had a birthday I had to go to and whatnot. But I think having that flexibility, like this has been the most steady weight loss since like before I started, which is
Yeah.
really great because it allowed me to be like, it's okay to like go out and have a meal, just like get back to it the next day and like, or don't go crazy for a meal
Yeah.
because you're starving yourself. You know what I mean? I just think finding that balance was really nice.
Yeah, usually that's like when you learn that lesson, like you get a lot of peace of mind. Like if you're someone that's super like numbers oriented, or you're like I'm either all in or I'm all out, like just
Mhm.
knowing that you can have like a small thing off and then just get back to it. Like your weight might go up, but like you can just get back on track. Like that's comforting for a lot of people.
Yeah. Or I remember like during Christmas or like the holiday time, I was like so afraid because I'm like, fuck, like I am so screwed. Like I'm gonna gain so much weight, but I actually didn't.
Yeah, you did good. You did really good.
Yeah.
So, on that note, like what are the specific results that you've experienced so far?
Yeah. So I lost almost 3 inches off my waist. I think that was something that I didn't really see until towards the end, but like I was like, holy shit, like 3 inches of I'm a small girl. I'm like 5'1". I now weigh 112 pounds. But I didn't think that that was possible. And it just kept getting a little bit smaller. I think something that I'm really proud of, AJ, you probably know this,
Yeah.
is really like grown my upper body. Like I have like a more square like shoulder, my
Yeah.
back is back in. It's looking really good. My chest is looking good. And I just like never thought like how much your upper body like would make such a big difference. Um, so yeah. And I
Yeah, I
lost
remember.
pounds here too. So
Yeah, I remember you were super excited. You're like, dude, I've never seen this. And then you're just sending me pictures of your back all the time. I was like, oh, she's feeling herself. That's good. That's good.
that's because Otto was like, dude, like at the gym, he'd be like, your back is really back in, or like your shoulders look so good. And I'm like, stop, I'm shy. Like, stop looking at my shoulders. But
That's
like I
good.
like, yeah, like I look at pictures, I'm like, it really makes a difference, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good that he's your ultimate hype man. That's
Yeah.
good job. So what's like one big win that you're super proud of accomplishing since you joined?
Mm, I mean, we talked a lot about this, but I think the biggest one was being able, I think figuring out the nutrition part, like the high fat, lower carb and high protein was working really well for me, and like understanding like how my body like reacted to certain foods. Like I can tell now, I'm like, if I eat Chinese food, I'm gonna be bloated for 4 days, just like little stuff like that. Of course, like 3 inches off the waist is insane. Like I would put on clothes, and I remember like I bought a new pair of jeans like maybe during the holiday time frame, and like a month later, I'm like, I just bought these, but they like don't fit because I have gone smaller already, and I had to like tell myself like that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. The nutrition was another thing. Yeah, just overall, like just feeling better, more confident. I think it's the takeaway.
Yeah. Feeling good at the batch.
Yeah. Oh, it was good. Yeah. And hopefully, yeah, I can sustain it through the wedding and
Yeah.
even post wedding too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you got to stick post wedding because you got to make it to the honeymoon. I don't know where you
Oh
guys
yeah.
going.
Um, haven't decided. We're probably gonna do the honeymoon like end of year. So I
Oh,
haven't end of the year.
okay. It's all right. We didn't really do our honeymoon until like a couple years later.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
I mean, we did like trips, but I was like, this isn't really, I'm not going to call this one the honeymoon. This is just
Yeah.
like a trip, you know?
It's just like stressful to think to plan like a full-blown honeymoon after your
Yeah.
wedding.
I honestly, I don't know how most people, or I don't know how it's normal to like go on your honeymoon the day after your wedding. I'm like, dude, I'm
Yeah.
exhausted. I should
Exhausted.
like
Like
chill.
people and everything. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what would you say to someone who is maybe on the fence or skeptical about joining Team Lionheart?
Just do it. Like there is nothing to lose from it. Like I feel like you are only investing in yourself, and like you're going to learn the tools to help you, right? And I think ultimately that's like the best thing you can do for yourself, like just to continue to be the best version of yourself. So just do it. There's literally nothing to lose.
You heard it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Uh,